And hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it's Adrian Chenault, and it is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. And I'm 70 years old, and to have a boss at age 70 is it was hard for me to have a boss at age 30 and 20. And now here I am at age 70, and I have the worst boss in the world right here.
I said something so rotten to him. I said something sort of rotten to him about 5 seconds before we go live, and he goes, anything else you want to say? And I just said something horrible to him the moment we went on the air. It was perfect.
It was great. So here we go, everybody. This is going to be an unbelievable show today. One of my favorite women in the world is Diane Hochman. She is unbelievable, and I love her. And she's so smart. We have nothing in common. She's a copywriter. She knows more about everything than anybody. She's like Lisa Grossman. Just a complete enigma to me, how two people can be so brilliant. It just blows my mind. And then you throw in Angel Fletcher and all the other top flight friends she has that I don't have. I'm unbelievably jealous of her. And the only thing that I have that has me anywhere near tied to her is this pithy radio show. So take it away. How you do? Do you like her?
She's the best. I don't know how, we got to figure out, somebody can share a picture of it in the comments or something.
Yeah.
So we send Diane this beautiful, I will admit, very sort of buttoned up sort of social square to post, very hoity-toity. And she's like, no, this is not going to do. So 20 minutes before the show, I get a notification, you've been tagged in a post by Diane. I was like, oh, that's nice. She shared the show. And I opened it up.
Why don't you just find it and hold it up to the camera? The camera will find it.
I'll figure it out. So she memed us, and it is very, very good. Very, very good.
And this is like people saying network marketing is hard. You guys, finding this show was not easy, but it's not hard. This is not digging ditches. I got kicked off Facebook. Oh my God. I didn't see that. What a tremendous.
You didn't see it. I made it.
I just am seeing it for the first time.
She finally got her bathtub.
I do not have a bathtub photo, and I'm talking over you on a radio show. I'm so upset I do not have a bathtub photo with you.
Well, you got to come to Colorado, or I got to come over to your house.
I understand, and I understand the rules, but due to COVID, I have not made it out there yet. So I just decided to make my own, so I could feel like Zoom and StreamYard. We feel like we're together, but we're not. So I wanted to feel like I was in your bathtub. So
Didn't you get COVID? Did you get COVID?
Oh man, honey, I was in the ICU, baby.
Well, if you come out, I'm gonna wrap myself in Saran wrap.
Well, no, I'm done. See, I'm safe. I'm vaccinated and I had it. So I'm maybe the only safe person for you to hang with.
Okay, so. Good. Well, good. We might even do it naked.
Well, I don't know about that, but
okay.
All I know
we
is
are off to a roaring start. Woohoo!
There will be no need.
If you could see my face right now, you would see a whole new shade of red that you never knew was possible.
Yeah.
I started.
All right. So what do we want to talk to her about? Let's talk about COVID.
Okay.
Let's talk about paparazzi. Let's talk about staying as safe as you can, because people are still getting in big trouble. And that would be a good thing to talk about without any kind of judgment about anybody that's done anything. I have no judgment whatsoever. I just want to love you and keep you alive, and I want to stay alive too. But you got real sick, right?
I did. And it was interesting because I had gone to an event, and I always get a cold or something after an event. Because I work from home and I'm not around a lot of people. So I just assumed it was the post, I get excited, I stay up late, I talk to everybody under the sun. So I can't tell you how many events. There's a picture of me on the plane on the way home with the stuffy nose, whining that I don't, that I have a cold. So I didn't think anything of it. And, fast forward, I went to get a test because I wanted to find out what was going on, and I was positive. And then a day or so later, I couldn't breathe, Tom. So I went down to the hospital and I walked in, and I don't know if you guys know much about the pulse ox machine. They check your oxygen. I was at 51, which means you're going to die. Okay. And I'm very blessed because they ran me down and they hooked me up on oxygen, and I responded well. And, I was there for a week. but man, oh man, did I scare my parents and my kids and my friends. And I'm so thankful to everybody. I mean, I got over 700 cards, Tom. The hospital started wondering who I am because after I was sent home, they kept calling me. There were boxes and cards. So thank you to everybody in this space that, that just reached out. I thought I was going to be there. They told me originally I might be there for as much as a month. They were ready to shove a tube down my throat the first night. So it's not a game. It is not a game. And I still have, I won't say what I have, but let's put it this way. I'm under a doctor's care and I will be for a while. Luckily, I'm feeling better, but it ain't nothing to fool around with. Thank you, Kim.
And rushing back into great big groups, you can do it, but just be really, really careful if you can, right?
Tom, what I would say is we're people, we're networkers, and we love people. And there's nothing I love better than an event. So the idea of going to, and this was a very small gathering, it wasn't like huge. It wasn't, a 10,000 person arena event or something. This was just a small gathering because it was a virtual event. But I was just so hungry to see people and to just talk business and shop. And I should have just been on the show a couple weeks earlier, and then I could have filled my need to talk business and shop. But we all want to be around people, and that's commendable. It's actually beautiful how we want to be together again. We just have to be really smart. We just have to be smart. That's all.
That's what I say.
So I'm just very thankful. And
nothing else matters than you staying alive. And I am thrilled to death that you're okay. And that people are getting sick from all kinds of stuff. It's not just COVID, just people are getting sick. I'm 70 years old, so my friends are dropping like flies, man. It's telling you, it's just making me crazy. And, it all is indicative of we got to keep moving. We got to do great nutrition. We got to pay attention to what's going on, and we got to have a positive attitude, which equals network marketing. And so that's a cool segue, Adrian.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, one of the things, so Diane, I was cheering you on and pulling for you as I saw you go through what you went through in the hospital. And, one of the things that I'm so glad you brought up, because I wasn't surprised, but I was disappointed to say the least, is, you had all kinds of people telling you, all kinds of different crazy stuff, just totally coming out of the cheap sheets, offering you advice you hadn't asked for from every possible angle, including trying to sell you stuff, right?
I literally got things in the mail with advertisements in them, people's product flyers. I had a lot of people, guys, I love to sell stuff. I love to sell stuff. I sell stuff at every opportunity. In fact, afterwards, I'll talk to you guys. You might want to buy something I have. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But when somebody's in the middle of something, they can't possibly get your product in time. It can't make a difference. And especially if they're in a hospital or under a doctor's care, they really need to listen to, the professional advice they're getting. So to offer someone, to try to sell someone when they're in, I got to tell you, it was the scariest week of my life. I was literally told the chances of me being on a respirator for a long period of time. I had 4 doctors give me informed consent. I had to have my emergency contacts in order. They were asking me about my living will, my dead will, this was not, going in for, a colonoscopy or something.
Yeah.
This is serious stuff. So I did make a video at one point when I could talk, just saying, please send me your love, send me your energy. Don't send me your advice or your offers, because it's awkward. And I think that's something that we need to think about in the real world. Are we genuinely thinking about this person and their circumstance when we're talking about what we have? And it comes up all the time. Yeah.
And so, and just think about your business, everybody, and how that landed with her and how that would land with you. And whether she's in the hospital or in a coffee shop, throwing up on people with an agenda is a terrible idea, which is what you don't want to do. which is, and I got to talk one more time about, I used to think I had like a reputation and I was somewhat well known. So I go to Higdon's event. I'll never forget this as long as I live. It was so depressing because I'm sitting in the very back row and I'm sitting among three women, Angel Fletcher, Diane Hochman, and Lisa Grossman. And guess what? I sat there for a whole day with people coming up and approaching and hugging and kissing and high-fiving, and not one person said hi to me. They did not recognize me. They talked to those women. And that's when I understood the influence that you have in the world, young lady. And I just want to thank you because people take you very, very seriously because of your wisdom and your ability to make them feel the BLTs, which is they belong. They feel loved by you. They feel like they can trust you and they feel that they're safe with you. And I want to acknowledge you for that because I am telling you, you're just a force of nature and I love you.
Well, thank you. But now that you have a boss sitting right next to you, you're probably going to be much more recognized at the next event. So when you feel safe to come out again to the next big event, everybody will be surrounding you, hugging you and kissing you. And it's all because of your boss. So make sure you listen to him.
Unbelievable.
I'm trying. We're trying to gang up on you and it doesn't work. No, thanks. I think a lot of that is just, I was fortunate enough to come up in the age of the internet and just have so much contact with people and a lot of exposure. So I've just really gotten to know so many people, and it's a blessing to know people across the industry and in every, beginners, advanced people, even Tom Chenault. It's pretty blessing to know you. So
it's pretty cool.
It is. It's fun, and I love, talking of Ray Higdon. I appreciate many things about Ray and Jessica, but he really, I think he has a deep appreciation for some of the people who have shaped the profession to be what it is today and remain relevant. People who maybe have stood on those shoulders and have been a voice for some of these mechanical things that are not mechanical, but like foundational things that are really important, that have always been important, that are still important. And so we're going to take a break in a second, but I think we should talk about that because I think some of this old school stuff is really not old school. It's timeless. And I think Diane is one of the people who understands that better than almost anyone. And so we'll come back with that after the break. You're listening to the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We're on the Genesis Communication Network, and we will be right back after this.
Bingo, bango, bongo, Mr. Radio.
How about that?
He hit the break.
Adrian, I'm really happy you brought up that topic, and I know we're live, but that topic needs to be talked about because we tend to throw away. And I know we want to talk about contact mapping, of course, which is a traditional skill that people don't honor anymore. They don't realize the power of it, that networking.
I totally agree. So let's talk about that piece now on the break, and then we can kind of fold that in and whatever else into the conversation when we're back to the radio show. Mm-hmm. But what is your view? Like what does the word networking even mean to you? Because I think it's one of these words that has gotten so kind of soiled that people don't associate. It's not a good association anymore, but it's a good word if you go back to the core of it. So what does that mean for you? What's a good networker?
Well, I think networking and network marketing are two different things. Networking is connecting with people to see who you can connect together and building relationships so that you can serve one another. And if you go to a chamber meeting or you go to a BNI meeting, which stands for Business Network International, I think, or something like that, or you go to a conference, you're networking. You exchange cards, you get to know each other, you grab each other's phone numbers and maybe keep track of who you're meeting. And at a later date, or at any given time, there might be some way that you guys can connect, and whether it's you end up getting hired by one of these people, whether you exchange great books or whatever. So we get into network marketing, and the key is networking, and everybody's trying to sell. I'm trying to network. I've always tried to network, and when I meet someone that has years of wisdom, they're the people I want to network with the most. Yeah, maybe they don't know how to use a TikTok. Tom, are you on TikTok?
Of course I'm on TikTok.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You dance?
Friend me up. Oh man, I'm telling you, I am a
I
machine.
missed out on the world of Tom and TikTok, so I'm going to TikTok.
But Friend Me Up tells you everything you need to know
What
about
is it?
how
What-
active he really is on
What is it
TikTok.
called?
Follow me.
Follow me. Sorry.
But I was going to say maybe they're not on TikTok, but that doesn't mean that they're understanding of people, because it's all about people. It's all about people. And that's, to me, that's the core. If somebody understands human motivation, or what did you call it, Tom? The BLTs?
Yeah, the BLTs.
No mayo. I don't do mayo on my BLTs. I'm against mayo, just fundamentally. I'm against.
I didn't say the BLTMOs. It's
Good.
the BLTSs. The belong,
Stuff.
love, trust, safe. That's all we want.
That is exactly what we want. And when we go out and create these environments for folks, that's when it's magic. That's when it's magic. So that was a long-winded answer to what does networking mean to you? Sorry, Adrian.
No, that's a perfect answer. And it's, what did she say? Not connect with people to see what I can get out of them. Not connect with people to see who they're connected with so I can see what I can get out of those people. But connect with people and figure out how I can help them by connecting people together and seeing it as this mesh. And when you do that, you become the intersection point and you become valuable. And that's what this is all about. And I want to call out, actually, we'll come back to this at the break. So I didn't even tell you about this yet, Diane. We launched this new digital business card that is the business. And it's this really cool way to be able to show things. And somebody was just commenting about it. So we'll talk a little bit about that on the next break. But you hit the nail on the head. So we're going to take a really quick pause and then we'll be back to the normal radio.
And we're back. Thank you, contactmapping.com, for sponsoring that commercial. We are back on the Genesis Communication Network with the one and only Diane Hochman. I love her, Adrian, and you love her more than I do. You really do, because you're smart. And I really had nothing in common with her until you started falling in love with her, and then I started loving her more.
There you go. So we were talking.
I just loved her wit and wisdom before.
She's it, man. So, all right, this is the shortest segment. So we've got about 6 minutes here, but I want to expand on what we were talking about before the break, that sometimes people view some of these foundational principles as old school, but they're not, they're timeless. And so why is it so important that we pay attention to those core concepts that sometimes feel like they have fallen out of passion or out of fashion?
Fashion. I say this over and over and over to people that take classes with me. Technology will always change. In fact, today it's changing faster than ever, but human nature never does. So as a good networker, we need to understand human nature. And I've always studied that harder than how to build a website or any of those types of things. Or, a lot of people are into text messaging, or TikTok right now has been all the rage. And they're awesome, but you have to understand the people. You have to understand the people. So why does it fall out of fashion? I think because information is moving so fast. It didn't move as fast when we all began. And I think everybody thinks there's some secret sauce somewhere. And the secret sauce is you, and the way you treat people and the way people feel about you. And even if Tom has nothing in common with me, I still love him. So
Correct, because we're heart connected. We aren't head connected.
Exactly.
So, I'm 70 years old. It's been 50 years since somebody looked at my terrible report card, and nobody remembers it because they remember what I remember about them. And that's all I want, is I remind them constantly about what I remember about them. How can you not like somebody like that? That's all it is.
I know we only have a minute, but what he just said right there, guys, if you just write that down, and it'll change your business in a minute. And that's why we really need to gather around people that have years of experience, because that one little line, when's the last time you told somebody what you remember about them? I mean, Tom and I have been doing it since we got on, haven't we? I remember this, I remember that, I remember this, I remember the first time I met you. That's interesting.
And people want to be known so badly. You know, there's a friend of ours who's a realtor. Her daughter, I won't mention her daughter by name, but her daughter, you know, I know her daughter's name in my contact mapping. I know how important her daughter is to her. I know that she does martial arts. Those all came up in conversation. And so now my antenna's up. And so then over the last few weeks, this kid has she's like a 10-year-old, like UFC fighter, jujitsu kid, like girl, crazy. And she is a beast, Nancy, from Morrison. And so her daughter has started winning all these tournaments. And it was like the easiest thing in the world to mention her daughter by name, which she doesn't do in the post, to go, hey, I saw all these tournaments that she won, and you just must be over the moon. How's everything going? And it's not, people are they're not doing like breadcrumbs. They're laying baguettes for you on this path for you to know how
we have to coin that.
Them. And we're just walking past them because if it doesn't scream, I'm ready to buy your thing, then we just can't seem to focus on it, right?
And I think that's what's real important is you're moving without an agenda. And because of that, people, their radars, I always say, like, it's like on Star Trek, shields up. The minute they feel that agenda, it's like, shields up. Oh, they're coming to get me. They feel a predator coming. And when we're just loving on people for the sake of loving on people and remembering what's important to them, when it's time for them, because not everybody's ready to buy or join today. And we all have to get that. It's not in our time, it's in their time. But who are they going to talk to when it's their time? You guys, you. And it's that patience in filling the, filling the pipeline sounds so internet-y, but, building those relationships.
It's the truth. If you interview 2 people a day and you document that interview and you remember on a regular basis, at the end of 90 days, you're going to have 180 people and you are going to be buried in business. And instead of being the deer in the headlights, you are going to be looking at people at where you can serve them because you've got so much business right here. All of a sudden, you're a good human being with their agenda as your agenda, and everything wins. And when the time comes, they're going to look you up because you remembered them. Just try it for 90 days. And if it doesn't, I will refund your poverty.
We got 30 seconds.
Okay, we got 30 seconds left. I didn't know what to say. So that was so sad. That worked out. All right, you guys, we're coming back right after this. We're on the Genesis Communication Network. I always say thank you to my buddy Ted Anderson, who owns that conglomerate, because he's had us on the show for 12 years for free, because he's smart and we bring content. But at the same time, he's also an unbelievably good guy who I love from the bottom of my heart for all the right reasons. We'll be back right after this. It's all yours, little buddy.
Oh my gosh. So we should talk about this business card thing. Throw David Robertson's quote up there if you can scroll up there and find it about the digital business card. But this is fun and it's something new and we should just talk about it for a second. So, one of the things that I'll just be totally, transparent is contact mapping is like the most brilliant thing in the world, but there's just one gigantic problem, which is that if I don't tell you how the heck I am magically remembering everything about you, there's no way that you're ever going to know that you're using our product, which makes it really hard for it to spread. And so we have had this conversation going about like, well, that wasn't really probably the smartest business idea I've ever had from that perspective. How are we going to sort of like ride along in the process of people connecting with each other? And what do we do all the time? We're always in this moment of thinking to ourselves, well, how the hell do I okay, we met each other and okay, what's your phone number? And we're like trying to do it in person, or we're like, it just sucks. It's hard to share your contact info, which should be the easiest thing in the world. And so we decided we better go and solve that. And so we just launched this new thing called digital business cards. It's something that you can create in 10 minutes or less completely for free. And David, if you would throw your business card in the comments and people can go and check it out. See what it looks like. But it's a beauty, you got your picture, you can write a bio about yourself that's beautiful, that you can share a little bit about who you are. It's got all your social media, your phone number, your email. But the thing that I love the most is they can tap one button and save your contact to their contacts in their phone immediately. And then they can turn around and they can create their own and do the exact same thing. And so it's just this really great way for us to be able to support you in connecting with people, it is awesome because it kind of allows us to be part of your experience, sharing who you are with other people. And Julie is another one of our awesome contact mappers who's out there sharing hers all over the place. And there's Tom.
The QR code. Cool.
Did you see that thing?
No, I haven't seen it. And
look at this. So they made me, because they know I can't figure out how to send a link. They gave me the thing where I just have to show somebody my phone, and that QR thing comes up.
Hold
and
it up.
Look at that.
I'll hold it close.
Wait. Watch. I'm going to do it. Yeah, you got it, Adrian. Wait.
Oh, his screen was asleep. Hold on, let me fix it.
See if it picks it up. You may not through here. I'm trying. You've got the phone straight. Well, we're not going to spend too much time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But it's so cool, and so we created it. All right, Julie, we'll hook you up with a QR code. We're having fun with this, but it's a great way, and it kind of becomes. This is what's so funny is what we find all the time is contact map. Even if people aren't an affiliate, contact mapping just becomes sort of this conversation piece where once people kind of have a good way to talk about it, it actually, you realize that it makes you look better. It makes you seem more heartfelt and more intentional and more professional in the way that you're connecting with people, that you do go, I actually do, like I take relationships and my network and my connections seriously. And when I say that I want to serve you and I want to introduce you to people, like I'm not just blowing smoke. I am actually like, I have a way to do that, and we're just having a ball with it, aren't we?
We really, really are. And the best contact mapper that in my life is my wife. I know you guys know her. I mean, I go in a restaurant, and by the time I get seated, I always drop the car off so she can walk in and she's got that flat tire, so she can't walk very far. So she goes in and sits down first. By the time I get to the table, she knows the blood type of the server and what's going on in their life with no agenda whatsoever. And then I come in and throw up all over with the product. No, I don't do that. All I do. But at the end of the day, every one of you are an absolute doctor in contact mapping if you just understand it. And it's the greatest secret weapon on the planet. And Denise is living proof, man. She's got more people than she's got mapped. You would not believe it. And every one of you can do it. All you got to do is be interested, not interesting. Leave your agenda at the door and make your agenda their agenda. And stop selling and start loving. Fire your brain, hire your heart. Love like crazy, then love more. And magic happens, right, Paco?
It's totally and how crazy.
I call him Paco.
How crazy that it isn't really, like it really isn't more complicated than that. That sounds too good to be true, but it's not. Yep. And try us. So we're going to take a 2-second break and we're coming back.
And we're back. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show with my little boy, Adrian. This is a very long segment, so you're actually going to get some content out of it because we are going to have our beautiful guest answer the brilliant questions from Adrian Chenault. Take it away.
All right. So Diane, how I first heard about you and then how I first fell in love with you is I was at that same event with Ray Higdon, which I can't remember if it was Top Earner Academy or if it was Rank Makers Live was the first one that I met.
I think it was Top Earner Academy. I remember talking to you. I distinctly remember the moment.
Yeah. And we were hanging out on that patio. There was a little VIP reception. We were hanging out talking. Sue Moore was there. I think she might be watching right now, who I love. And somebody said, you're going to love her because she understands the way it should be done. And she's one of the good guys advocating for that. Mm-hmm. And so I want you to talk about how you kind of got that in your DNA in turn to be able to kind of propagate that in today's world where there is all this other shiny stuff that people are talking about all the time, but you have really stayed the course that doing the right things the right way is all that really matters. So where did that come from for you, Diane?
Well, first of all, I think I was brought up in a really good organization when I started in the industry. That was when all the internet mayhem and mania was breaking out and everybody was doing all kinds of wiki-wacky, mail order and stuff. And our leader, rest his soul now, he was very adamant about building a customer base and caring about people and working, that way. And so I didn't get caught up in the mania like so many did. And I was taught traditional. And then, I don't know, I guess I'm just a lover of people. I always have, I was never really worried about if somebody always stayed on the product, or I wanted them to come back. I always call it coming home.
Yeah.
I want you to come home when it's time for you to come home. Same thing with team members and people I work with. I want people always to know that they're more important to me than the dollar I might make. I don't know whether it's just coded in me from my family and the way you treat people, but I also think a lot of the things I studied, and maybe it's because I did study and searched out people like Tom and Larry and all these guys. I always looked for the legacy. And the people that were legacy people were generally talking about these concepts. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does. And you talk about that legacy thing, because I think that's profound right there. When you talk to Al Bala, or you talk to Larry and Taylor Thompson, or you talk to Ron Henley, or you talk to our good friend in Egypt, Adnan Shethi, if you talk to these people, all of them are talking fundamentals of network marketing, which is human beings talking to human beings. And all the bells and whistles and the click funnels and all that jazz are wonderful. But this business is relationships. And the more relationships you have, the more you win. And when people join you with a click, it's highly likely they're going to leave you with a click. And it turns into smoke and mirrors, and you're always chasing your tail. But if you develop the BLTs with about a half dozen people that will literally do anything for and with you, and you teach those 4 people to do the same thing, and that turns into 64, and then it turns into, I'll just sing you my favorite song. Do you know Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Yeah. 416, 64, 256, 1024, 4096. That's my favorite song.
No, get rid of the last one and go, and now you're rich, and then it'd be better.
Now you're rich. Yeah, the name of the game is teach people. Right now, every one of you are modeling your behavior, and your people are doing what you're doing. The sad thing is you're not doing the things that are necessary to build a gigantic organization, which is being a good human being and going out, finding 100 people to join your business. 80 of them are going to be customers, Larry and Taylor Thompson. 15 are going to be distributors that want to make a little bit of money. And 4 of them are going to want to drink the Kool-Aid and be a crazy moony like you. And that's all it boils down to. And the name of the game is trying to find those 4 and show those people what you're doing, which is finding the 100. They go do that, and they go do that, and they go do that, and they go do that. The party's over, right, Paco?
It's exactly right. And the reason that a big part of that, the reason why those 4 are going to change everything is because they know that you're really going to go the distance with them. Because they're going to go the distance with somebody, but they're not going to go the distance with you unless they really believe you'll go the distance for them. Don't you think?
I do. And I also think, though, okay, here we go. Now the modern girl comes out. Ready, Tom? The modern, because I am a fundamentals girl. I teach it. I mean, ask any of my guys. It's all I ever harp on. That's great. How many people have you met today? How many people, But I also think we need to come to terms. I'm also very much a realist. People will come and go in their time. So we do need to understand that we need more than 4 or 6 because we have to sort and find those folks. And that is part of the game. And then also understanding that we're going to, things come up in people's lives. Like, for example, I was just in the hospital. I might have had a life change or something like that. And really, let's put it this way. I'm a fundamentals girl, but I love technology because technology allows me to put the fundamentals on steroids. Now,
Didn't you hear a word I said? I agree with you 100%. Everybody goes out and brings 100 people into their business.
Absolutely.
Okay. 80 of them are customers or they're in the hospital with COVID. You cannot say, get out of that hospital and get back to work. You're saying you are right where you are, and I love you there, and I'm going to be the best to you there, and I'm going to give you a rotation, a 30-day rotation. I do it with everybody in my life, and I tell them I love them and thanks for the business once a month. Then that one level above that 15 people that want to make a little bit of money, they get a little bit more of my attention. Those 4 people that are doing what I do, I am in the foxhole with them, and they look out the window every morning and they see a car parked in front of their house, and people go, who's that car? And they say, it's somebody that Tom Chenault hired to keep an eye on me because he doesn't want me to die, because I love them so much and they're driving my business. We agree with each other.
Well, I think what I'm trying to say is, if we have those 100 people, sometimes one of the 80 all of a sudden lights up and becomes one of the 4 during that period. And sometimes one of the 4 has something going on and they're like, we're agreeing 100%. That's all. I just don't want people to get disappointed in thinking I got these 4 people and they're the ones, when we have to understand, if you go recruit 100, and by the way, every top dog I've ever talked to said that in your first year, if you go out and you really, really go to work for 1, 2, 3 years and you put in 100, those numbers are going to work. And everybody says that, and I tested it. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But they do flip around sometimes. They do flip around.
I totally agree. The mime that was, if I just want to go back and watch that segment on mute, because he was like, yeah, they're going to come up and then they're going to go down. And they're going to, it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. So, all right, that's a perfect segue, because you talked about the modern Diane, you talked about the technology, and you really are great on this stuff. And so here's my first question. Of all the things that you have, what do you think is the most valuable asset that you have besides you?
Email list. 100%.
Okay. So talk about why and then how somebody could get started on that journey.
Okay. So I want to make sure I'm really clear as we talk about this, especially for folks that are traditional networkers. Everything that I do with technology is based upon what I would have done before the internet.
Yeah.
Meaning it is, because what would happen is you join a program and you'd invite some people over and you'd show them what you were up to. And it would be in your living room or wherever it would be. And then out of that, let's say you invited 10 people over and maybe 2 signed up and 4 people bought product and a couple people looked at you like you were crazy, which is what they're supposed to do. We take those 2 people and we do the same gathering in their living room. And we do the same thing. And eventually we couldn't get everybody together anymore because there were too many people, and we moved down to the Holiday Inn Express, the meeting room down there. And what would happen is the presentation of the products and the opportunity took half an hour, 45 minutes, same presentation, whether you're talking to one person, largely, I mean, figuratively, one person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. Because when you got to the big meetings, what happened? There was one presentation, it took 45 minutes, then we'd have everybody get together and meeting after the meeting. That's the way it always worked. So I just looked at email as a way to talk to my people. I started out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on that list. And I could write to them and let them know what was going on, if there was an event, etc. And then it got to be 20 people and 30 people and 40 people and 50 people. And eventually thousands of contacts that I have that I can alert at one time that something is going on or something's available or a new product came out or there's a new flavor or a new color or whatever that may be. So everything was based upon the BLTs. I love that. I never heard you say that before. I guess I just haven't been hanging around you enough, Tom. Everything is always based on the BLTs. It's always based upon a very intimate communication between me and that person. But I'm only writing one email, just like I do one presentation, no matter how many people. And so that was my little cockamamie idea. And it turned out to work.
And you write these, sorry, I cut you off.
No.
You write these emails that really do feel like you're sending a note to a friend.
Well, I am.
I know, and I love that. And did that just seem natural to you? Because not most people don't write the way you write, and I love the way you write. But did that just come naturally to you? Did you stumble into that? You gave yourself permission to try it wacky, and it worked. How did that happen?
What happened when I first learned about this tool, I was given pre-written letters and pre-bought leads. That was back before the laws, and you couldn't do that. And they all felt so salesy and yucky and impersonal. And I did what I was told at the time, but then eventually I went, no, let me write my own letter. And what I found is that people started writing me back. And when people wrote me back, it was really easy to say, well, I don't know if you're looking for something, but I'd love to show you what I'm up to. And that's how it all began. It just felt, so many of the practices felt yucky, and I just care about people. So I just wanted to share what I was up to and what I had. And then the other thing, Adrian, is I'm a mom. My kids are now 25 and 28. I don't know how that happened. Look, I even have my mom life hat here that they gave me. What does the PTO have? A newsletter. What does the soccer team have? A newsletter. What does the National Honor Society have? A newsletter. I just started a newsletter. That's it.
I want to be on the list.
Well, why aren't you? Where you been?
I don't know. You must have blacklisted me.
I missed you on TikTok, so.
We're coming back right after this. Stick around. Are we at the break, I hope?
Yeah, we're perfect.
Okay, so here's the deal. Before we get to the commercial, it's kind of cornball anyway. So here's what we're doing. Did you ever find a husband?
Me?
Yes.
No, and he was going to bring it up. I mean, like, geez Louise, like last time he put me through the ringer. Did he tell you that he sent me a message that said, a lot of people think you're dead, so make sure you promote the show a lot so they know you're not?
I did not. Maybe it was a little.
You told me I'm looking so much better now. I must be on the hunt. I'm like, oh my God, Tom. And we're live. And
let's okay. So now that's pretty. Let's talk about your love life.
I've been loving me. I
know, but don't you want to? I mean, I'm telling you what, I'd marry you.
Look, you told me you were my wingman and you were going to find me a really rich guy, which I'm not looking for necessarily.
But then you got rich, so you didn't need it anymore, so I had to switch.
Listen,
so now you're rich and you need nice. So now I've changed it.
Pandemic, you've done nothing for me. Where you been? Where you been?
You're not even on our freaking email list.
Wait a second. Come on. No, wait. I just sent you my Tinder thing.
Yeah, I don't even know how to swipe right or left, up or down. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much.
All right, just check it. I love you. So go to that website right there and send her a private message if you're looking for a husband.
Stop it, Thomas. Stop it.
Something.
Yeah, do not.
Go ahead.
She probably gets enough of that already. All right, so we do not do that.
That was only on Facebook, I hope.
Impossible. Yeah, only on Facebook. Yeah, thank God. you get some real love letters from the radio.
Yeah, that's all we need. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't need that.
We're in the break. That was a safe little fun joke. Go ahead.
Oh, it's so funny, Tom.
Oh my.
Now we're even on the bathtub picture. That was a pretty doggone good job. Did you do that Photoshop stuff?
I did. It was pathetic, but it was funny.
No, really cool. Thank you.
I know.
That's why I was looking down. I was finding it so I could share it on my wall.
Too funny. You're on your own, man. I can't segue off you.
Okay, so all of you that are so jealous, you saw me checking my pockets and stuff. I already lost it. Those of you that are so absolutely jealous because you don't have this, Jason actually laminated a little card for me also. So if I'm in the coffee shop, I just have to flip it to somebody and they can take but I already lost it. So it's already, he laminated it in the whole shop for me and it's already gone. But yeah, I'm a whole lot cooler than all of you because I am their test tube baby. Because if I can figure it out, anybody can, right?
But you lost the sticker. So
I already lost the sticker. So that's jacked.
We actually have a tattoo.
That's being old. That's not tech challenge. That's just being old. See,
can you imagine?
No, don't.
On this chest, I'm going to have my little contact mapping. I am going to do it. So anyway, that's going to happen. Can't wait. All right. This is going to be phenomenal.
We're going to get banned. You can't unsee. There's just certain things you can't unsee, Diane. So
I can screenshot later though.
Yeah, that's it. You could.
Oh, you could put that right in there on a picture. Say, yeah, do that later. Grab that photo and then just make sure that you send it and then put that thing in there. You're good at that.
I'll put it on your chest for you. I'll make you like QR man. I'll make you wait. Contact CM man. CM.
There we go.
All right. That was a perfect commercial.
That was fantastic. Go to contactmapping.com/app. Don't send Tom hate mail. And we're going to come back in 5 seconds.
All right. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we're back. It is the final segment of the Network Marketing Leadership Show with the one and only Adrian Chenault and the one and only Diane Hochman, who is as cool as they get. And those of you that don't know her, go to her website. I want you to get to know her because she is a wealth of information. I trust her with my life. I belong in her tribe. I am safe with her. I love her. Go ahead.
So,
Wow.
Diane,
True.
you're showing people how to do what you do in building the list, in how to write to people and talk to people like a human being, and to do this whole thing, right?
Yes.
Talk about what you're doing, because you just ran a workshop like the other day, didn't you, on that topic?
A ton of people. It was amazing.
So cool. So what do you, if they come and do that with you, what are they going to learn?
Well, Adrian, what I teach people, I need to back up a little bit so people can understand, because a lot of times when people use a technology like an autoresponder, which is the tool that allows you to email everybody, they get caught up in internet marketing. Okay, and internet marketing, and that means open rates and hits and clicks and analytics and all this other stuff. Okay, and that's cool if you're an internet marketer, but I'm not an internet marketer. I'm a networker. Okay, and when people love you, they're not worried about if you make a typo. They're not worried about if you flub and leave half the letter. I mean, look at how much people love Tom. They're not worried about him picking on poor, innocent women on his radio show. So as a networker and as a connector and somebody who has a love for people, and hopefully people start to reciprocate that as you build relationship, when I invite them to be on my newsletter, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be a copywriter, although over 22 years I've become one, and I do copywriting for a lot of people behind the scenes. You just have to be you and learn the fine art of the invitation, which is, I just tell a little story, and then I call it the twist. Tell a little story, start out that your cat threw up on the rug, or you got a flat tire, or whatever's going on today, something kooky, something fun to just relax people. And then you twist and go, by the way, today at 5:05 p.m., I'm going to be on the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We're going to have a lot of fun. Tom and Adrian are the best. I really think you'd like it. Join us. Here's the link. That's the process. It's what's going on today or what's happening. By the way, tonight we're going to hear from some people that have been able to lose a significant amount of weight, but most importantly, get their diabetes under control. If you or anybody you love suffers from a particular situation, whatever, no medical claims. I shouldn't have said diabetes. I take that back. But you guys understand. Join us. Yeah, I know. Strike that, reverse that. Don't make medical claims, kids. Don't make medical claims. But you could say people that have had a life change. If you or somebody you love is challenged in this area, come tonight and hear these stories. They'll move you. It's just so simple to invite when you have people, and then somebody might write back and go, I'm busy at 8. Is it being recorded? Absolutely. Let me get you that recording. Now you have a reason to talk to them again the next day. Here's the recording. Listen, if any of this appeals to you, let me know. I can answer any of your questions. And now you have this relationship going, but I'm allowed to talk to a lot of people at once so I can sort through and see not everybody is interested in that particular webinar or gathering, or not everybody's interested in the Tom Chenault, or I should say the Network Marketing Leadership Show, but I don't know why not, Tom. I don't know why not. But not everybody is, or not everybody was free at 5:05 today.
I think we should change it to the Network Marketing Comedy Hour. It would be more accurate.
It'd be a heck of a lot more fun, I'll tell you that, instead of all these tightly wound people that tell me how politically incorrect I am. That's horrible.
Is that aimed at me? That's aimed at Adrian. So, Diane, I don't even know if email tools let you track this one. Are you able to measure what your reply rate is on your emails?
No, like analytically you can't, but I know,
I bet you get a ton of, so I will tell you, having been in that world, that most marketing emails of any kind get about this 0% reply rate, unless it's please don't ever email me again, or why am I on your list, or unsubscribe. What would you guess ballpark is your reply rate? Or, I mean, you get hundreds of replies, dozens of replies. What do you get?
It depends. Like I want people to interact with me, because people are like, why do you want them to write you back? Because that's how you connect with people. And I'm a networker, you know? So I might write, you know, this weekend I have family coming over and I need a good recipe for 6 people. I don't want anything too crazy. I don't want a lot of leftovers. What do you think? Hey, by the way, tonight there's a webinar on blank. And I'll get 200 people write me their favorite recipe to make on Sunday. Right. And then that gives me a chance to talk to as many of them as I can. Right. So I'll get a huge response. The other day I wrote a letter about recovering and I got a huge response. I might write a letter about learning how to do whatever, and I might only get 2 people. So I'm not necessarily worried. I always say I'm not worried about my open rate. I'm not worried about my response rate. I'm worried about the right person opening, or the right person clicking, or the right person responding. So if it's one person, like last night I did a little training on something and I was like all bummed out. I worked really hard on it and nothing happened. And then boop, boop, 2 people signed up. And it was like really cool. So 2 of, because there weren't a lot of people there. I didn't do a good job promoting it, but 2 of the right people were there.
All right, we got to get out of here, but we're not really doing that. So don't hang up. But we're getting off the radio here in a second. Next week, Al Bala and Tony Jerry, really, really cool guys, are going to be on the show. You want to be watching that because it is going to rock also. It's great to see company owners really, really taking the field seriously, and that's what Al Bala does. So we're coming back next week on the Network Marketing Leadership Show. Diane, we love you with all of our heart and so happy you're still alive.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Okay, the show's over. And hello, don't hang up. Lisa Grossman.
I know.
She can't
Lisa,
talk,
the
man.
G, I know. This is, thank God she wasn't the guest this week.
Oh,
but,
my
man,
goodness.
I hope it's feeling better. Nate Forrest is hanging
Nate
out.
Forrest, and a lot of you had trouble getting on. I got kicked off Facebook because of these guys one more time, because they somehow, how did I get kicked? 2 times in a row I got kicked off.
Bathtub pics, controversial posts, horrific. I mean, it's yeah.
So there were a few
sorry.
reasons. I'm innocent. So anyway, I'm still banned from doing Facebook Live.
I like the bathtub pics. I don't know.
Yeah, I do too. Everything about me I love.
With the clothes on, the naked ones, I don't know, but I just made myself one. So
yeah, I know that was pretty cool. So yeah, so don't leave, Sue. So
I'm here. I'm just taking a sip.
yeah, Sue Moore's leaving us. It's so heartbreaking. But
I thought you were me. Oh, bye, Sue.
Yeah, so finally Maria Copel got on here, and all of you can watch the whole replay of the show because it was epic. And this woman is amazing, and we're going to bring you back. And by the time you come back, we're going to have adapted your email philosophy. I can't tell you the company because it is so huge. You can't, millions upon millions of people have followed this couple. Not in network marketing, bigger than network marketing by a long shot. And they've hired all these Harvard MBAs. And what I found out a couple of days ago, because they're struggling and they're going to reintroduce some products to try to build an email list, because as long as this company has been in existence and they are the benchmark for home-based business, their corporation, they never built an email list. You know who I'm talking about?
I do.
It's unbelievable. I don't want to call them out because they'll find out I said it and I'll get in trouble. But all of you, she is so right, because things can go down the drain. Facebook can go down the drain. You can be kicked off of Facebook like I am right now on Facebook Lives. Your destiny, you've got to keep it in your own hands. And the way that you do that, I believe, is to have your database in your own hands through contact mapping and an unbelievable email list. Would you agree or disagree with that, Diane?
Absolutely. I mean, we used to do it in a card file box. Now we have things that are so much better. You know, I did anyway. I had a card file box back in the day when I started. That's how I kept track of everybody. Guys, you got to control your database. You have to, because you can't depend on social media. It's great, but it's free, and you can't depend on it.
And all these tricks are going to be obsolete, but what's not going to be obsolete is your relationship with human beings and what you remember about them. So Diane, I love you. At my core, I love you. And you picked up the phone twice on me while you were in such trouble. And I want to thank you for that, because I was literally worried about you every day. And thank you for making it through and being such a stand for human beings everywhere. I love you.
Love you too. Tom, give me one more second just to say again to anybody who might see this, thank you for the support. This industry, the space just really came through. I tried to gather energy from everybody I could because I needed it. And the love notes, the calls, the cards, the everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate everybody, especially you. Anytime I see you on caller ID, I try to pick up because gosh knows you're going to say something ridiculous to me and make me smile.
Well, I can't believe you said you got 700 cards, but you didn't mention you got 699 of them from Jordan Adler.
No, there was a good number from Jordan and the crew, but you know who sent me 7,000 cards? I know I'm exaggerating. Who? Angel Fletcher.
Oh, she's the best.
Sent me card after card after card with little quotes in them and hearts and love, and I just love her so much. And then Lisa Grossman made everybody she knew send me a card. She let them know, and so my girls, I thank them, and but everybody who just took the time, some new friends, and the flip side of the people who kind of pitched me, and that was weird. I've met so many great new people. Guys, go to the hospital and you can network with lots of people. It's awesome. No, it's
yeah.
Do it.
And it's the middle of the night in India. He's hanging out with us. I just always want to acknowledge him because that is so.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
And Ron Henley is like a big fan of you and this show. So all of you have the best day ever. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.